could have 3 losses by now.
I don't know about that.
They are not that
For
good.
Florida State in there, I would say yes to that, what you just said.
Return by Caleb Downs, and he finds a seam. He makes the punter look silly. Caleb Downs, show him what you got. Touchdown, Bama.
I'm going to drive now for UTEP. And they will keep it on the ground. Awat just gets pile-driven by Stutzman.
Really haven't even tried from the shotgun. That throw's intercepted. Pierce down the sideline. Touchdown.
Claiborne, the sophomore, has 1 score so far this season. Rivers will buy a little bit of time. Falling down, lost the football. Play is still live. And recovered by the Monarchs. Lamarian James will take it the other way for the ODU touchdown.
Welcome back to Devy IDP Grind, and happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates. Be safe out there tonight. Be sure to check your kids' candy, and more importantly, eat their candy. You know, it's good for you. So, how's it going?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. A little bit of a cold, but yeah, can't complain. I'm doing all right.
All right. It's a big week this week. There's some big games. I think I'm on a little bit of a delay, so you're just going to have to stay with me tonight. You got Memphis playing. They should win that one. You've got Vanderbilt in Texas tomorrow. That's a big game. You have Tennessee, a big game. Probably the loser of that game is probably out of the hunt for the playoffs. I guess it's at Utah too. That's a big ranked game. So there's some other pretty good games, but only one of the teams are ranked. Anything particular you're
I don't know. Like, I think you're starting to see, like, I mean, obviously, I pay more attention to the Group of 5 than I do the Power 4 schools. But I feel like you're starting, and at least in the Group of 5, you're starting to see the cream rise to the top, so to speak. I'm a believer in James Madison now, as much as I'm a hater of James Madison as an Old Dominion fan. They're a good team. They are, I would say they are top 3 in the Group of 5 with Memphis and South Florida. Even before last night's game, I said earlier in the week that I thought JMU was better than both Navy and Tulane, and we saw Tulane get their butts kicked last night. Tulane's weird, man, because I thought going into the season they had a really good defense, and it seemed like early on the offense just was like, it kind of kept them going, but it wasn't like outstanding. And then last night, like, the offense just looked terrible. Defense didn't play so great either. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That group of 6 is it's been fun to watch. And we about the MACtion during the week, Conference USA during the week. Man, I want more of that. I was looking at the schedule here. Navy and North Texas, that'll be a good game. If I'm not mistaken, Navy is still undefeated, I think. So big game for them if that's the case. And North Texas, they've shown they can play with anybody. So that should be a good game too.
Yeah, that should be a good one. I mean, I look for look for North Texas to kind of win that game. Just think I don't know. I haven't been super impressed with Navy this year. Obviously, they're undefeated, but their schedule starting this week gets significantly harder moving forward. So, they got North Texas this week. I think either next week or the week after they have Notre Dame. So, yeah, I think North Texas gets the win this week. I think North Texas is one of the better teams in the G5. They did not play well against South Florida. They made a great hire this offseason in defensive coordinator Skylar Cassidy. Skylar came over from Sam Houston. He was the defensive coordinator for that great Sam Houston defense a year ago, and he's doing good things with that defense for North Texas, and they're looking strong.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few other games, like I said, they're not ranked games, but they could have some implications, right? Like Notre Dame's at Boston College. Notre Dame should take care of them. Texas Tech at Kansas State. Both of those should be easy wins. Ole Miss is at home against South Carolina. South Carolina's been known to upset some people. But looking at the top 25, what about Georgia Tech, man? I don't think nobody – I thought they would be good, but I didn't know that they were going to be this good. I didn't know that they were going to be undefeated, ranked 8th in the country, leading the ACC, and right now they're in the driver's seat. I mean, if they take care of business, they're in.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like to me there is no dominant team, if you will. I mean, lots of good teams, but I mean, like, I don't know, like Indiana. I like Indiana and I like Ohio State. Other than that, like, it's just kind of like there's a big group, right? Of like, and it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of personal preference at that point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think those two are Ohio State and Indiana. I think they are head and shoulders above everybody else right now. But man, what a hire for Indiana, right? They got Cignetti. They've locked him up again now with this firing squad or going around the college football. They're like, nope, he's not going nowhere. They lock him up, and man, that's proven to be an absolute terrific hire for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't blame them for locking him up. This hiring cycle is not going to be good, I don't think, just because there's so many jobs that are open. So I'm not. It's not the year to be looking for a new coach, I don't think.
Right. I've heard a lot of talk, and I don't know. I guess money talks in any situation these days. But do you think, just your personal thought, do you think Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss?
Man, like, I can see it possibly for the LSU job, but that's really the only one I see it. That's really the only one I could see it happening for.
Right. And speaking of LSU, Brian Kelly getting fired couldn't have happened to a better piece of crap, in my opinion. So I hate it for them because they're usually a really good team. They're a powerhouse, but man, he just, even since he's been fired, I have been hearing some things, and it's, man, he's a rectangle trying to fit into a triangle spot. It just stands out. It didn't happen. So, but Florida's looking, LSU's looking. There's Penn State's looking. I was kind of shocked Matt Rule didn't entertain the Penn State job.
I don't know. Like, I don't know that that's an upgrade over James Franklin. Kind of feels like the same.
Well, yeah, true. but I guess Nebraska was happy with him, so they locked him up with an extension. So I don't know. I don't really dislike Rule. I don't think he's an elite head coach, but I think he's solid, especially if you're a program like Nebraska, where you've been down for a while. You need somebody to kind of right the ship and get it headed right in the right direction. So I think he's that kind of guy. He'll get you close and have some good seasons, but I don't know that he's the guy that's going to make your team elite.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think he's a fine coach, but I don't think, he's not going to take you to the promised land, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, I don't see him being any better than James Franklin in that regard. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see who Penn State hires. Here in Virginia, the rumor is James Franklin is going to be the next head coach of the Virginia Tech Hokies. So that's interesting, I think. I'm interested to see where the JMU head coach Chesney ends up. Bob Chesney's gonna end up somewhere in the P4. I'd bet a lot of money he's not coaching at JMU next year. He's gonna be a P4 coach somewhere. Question is where.
Yeah, I've heard that rumor as well about him to the Hokies. Yeah. A couple episodes ago, and I think I had some shitty internet issues. You were asking me about since then I've went back and watched a few games, watched some of his tape. I like the kid, I really do, and I think he's got NFL potential. Not saying this is who he is, but as far as his size and maybe style of play, I think he's pretty close to what Jack Campbell is for the Detroit Lions. I would say this: Campbell's probably is, or is not probably, but he's a lot more athletic than Goday. But their playing styles, I think, is kind of similar. Really tall, long, lengthy linebackers that are playing in the middle, right? And I forget Cincinnati's other linebacker that plays next to him. He's built the same way, except he's more of a true down guy, and I can't remember his name, but Golladay, I think he has some NFL potential as he keeps trending in the right way, and so far he has. So, not saying he's going to be Jack Campbell, but he's kind of in that mold, that style, and the NFL kind of checks that box, I think, when they see those type of players, and Campbell has a big part to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, linebacker. I mean, it feels like linebacker in the last few drafts, at least like Jack Campbell and maybe Schlesinger are really the only two. I guess you're seeing Barrett Carter get some run now, but it just seems like, in a lot of respects, you can go get a Sean Dolak or an Ivan Pace as an undrafted free agent, and these guys are good players. Linebacker, seems to be one of the most devalued positions in the NFL right now.
Right. Looking at some of the national leaders, we'll look at we'll do the top 5 maybe. So total tackles right now, the national leader is Owen Long, Colorado State, with 103. Number 2 is Quentin Erweiler for Northern Illinois with 97. Third is Micah Day.
You want me to
for Utah, 94. Fourth is Khalil Murdoch for Flo with 2. And 5th is Ray Coney. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was gonna share something on my screen here in a minute when I can get it pulled up. You can go ahead. I'll pull it up when it loads.
Okay. And Ray County for Tulsa is 5th, 89. And you got a few pretty big names: Jackson Eck, Cade Ulave, Bryce Llewellyn, that are following behind. One that's over 100. You got 3 that are getting close, but he's the only one at the moment that's over 100 tackles. So, if you look at, you're pulling that up.
Yeah,
and this is, we talked about this too, but this is leading me back to the question. Yeah. Do you remember a time when so many tackles were being made and them being mostly assist? Like, you're seeing games with like 15 tackles and he's only got 3 solos, or you'll see this guy with 14 tackles and he'll have 2 solos. I mean, that's an awful.
I mean, we'll just look at the screen, man.
I don't remember the assist being that heavy.
Look at all those solo tackle rates. That's pretty low. You know, like 39%, 31%, 29%, 38%, 33%. And then you have some guys that are way up there, you know, like Erweiler and Jackson Eck, Daniel Wingate, Dorian Pringle. All those guys have a lot of solo tackles.
Yeah, I noticed when I was doing my rankings that I do each week, my IDP rankings, I've got solo tackle rate, and I've noticed there is a lot that's, you know, they're 50% or below. There's a lot that's like 40% or below. And it just, when I guess that I'm doing these rankings, it's kind of stuck out to me. And I'm like, man, I don't remember the solo tackle rates being, you know, this low.
No, looking at guys with a lot of tackles, Eric Gentry's high up there for solo tackle rate. I'm just trying to pick out guys that Xavier Atkins at Auburn. But yeah. Cole Kozlowski, UCF.
Yeah, Cole's been one that's been flying up our my rankings lately too. Let's kind of look at your tackles. You know, Quentin Erweiler for Northern Illinois leads in solos with 53. Owen Long leads in assists with 60. So, you know, those two are 1-2 in total tackles, and then they're leading solos and assisted. Tackles for loss, you got a tie for first with Nadam Tucker for Western Michigan and John Henry Daly for Utah. They both have 14. And then you have a group of 4, Xavier Atkins, Nathan Voris, David Bailey, and Byron Parham are all tied for third with 13. And then if you look at sacks, Voorhis for Ball State's got 10, Byron Parham, 9.5, Cassius Howe, 9.5, and John Henry Daly, 9.5. John Henry Daly, I don't know if you've watched much of him for Utah, but man, what a pass rusher. He's been shooting up my my IDP rankings. I think he's just a perfect fit for the Utes, and he's done well. And then Cassius Howe, I dropped him. At the beginning of the season, I was like, man, he's not. He's just not translating to the higher conference, right? Because he come from the MAC to the SEC, and we kind of saw it last year. And I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt because there was a roadblock ahead of him, right? They had so much talent. But this year he started off slow, and I was like, man, I just don't think this is going to happen. And I put him in one of my IDP Devy portfolios as a liquidation because at that point he hadn't really done nothing. And true to form, as soon as I said that, I stuck my foot in my mouth, and here he comes with 4 sacks and 3 sacks. And so it kind of looks like he's found his groove now in the SEC. So, I mean, it looked like I missed, so maybe it just took him a little time. But your thoughts on Hal and John Henry Daly?
Yeah. I mean, I just brought up the edge rushers here, and you can see John Henry is 13th in havoc rate, which, includes all, sacks, pressures, all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, you're right. Cassius Howe, he's really come on. I don't know. I'm trying to find him here. He to your point, he had a rough early season, so I'm not sure how far down the list he is. But he's really come on here as of late. There he is. He's 29th in havoc rate at just under 14%. There's your boy Josephs there at 27th. I tell you, someone who is
a little bit of a rough start for him, but he seems to have
someone that's really turned it on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Caden Curry at Ohio State. He has been a beast for Ohio State this year. Finally getting his opportunity. When we talked about him, my God, I don't know, I guess 4 years ago now when he was in high school, we talked about him, me, you, and Choppy. And, man, like finally busting out for the Buckeyes.
Who is that you cut out?
Caden Curry, the defensive end for Ohio State. Can you not hear me, Hollywood?
Yeah, you cut out on me. I can hear you, but you cut out.
It's Caden Curry, defensive end, Ohio State.
It's probably something on my end, I'm sure.
The guy I have highlighted right here, Caden Curry.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he's been making a move up my rankings too. Kind of the same thing like I was talking about with Hal, right? Ohio State was so loaded, with JT Tuamala, and then you had Sawyer, and you just had a plethora of pass rushers. And he got some opportunities early. I think he's a senior now, or is he just a junior?
Yeah,
but either way, I mean, he's had opportunities over the years, and looks like he's finally getting a good shake at it now.
Yeah. Good to see Ruben Bain bounce back and have a good junior season after a disappointing sophomore year.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, that sophomore season was it's kind of yucky.
I mean, he still only got looks like 2 sacks on the year, but he's got a lot of pressure. 39.
Yeah, kind of looking at the list here. Boubacar Traore for Notre Dame is another one that I like. He's a youngster. He's tied for 12th with 6.5. Max Llewellyn for Iowa. I mean, he's down there with 6, so he's tied for 18th. But what do you think about a player like Adam Trick for Miami of Ohio? He's got 6.5 sacks.
I mean, he's been producing at Miami of Ohio. I haven't really watched him to say what he is, other than someone in the MAC, and I don't know his size off the top of my head. Let's see. He is 6'4", 249, redshirt junior.
Let's see.
My guess is he's gonna end up somewhere else next year, and then at a big a P4 school, they're gonna pay him some money based on the outstanding year he's having this year. And then we'll see, man. Like, it just we talked about it in the off season when guys move up. I mean, look, it took Cashie's Howe some time, right? It might take them guys some time to be able to produce again, and if they can, a lot of times, more often than not, we see guys move up from the G5 to the P4, right, and the production is not nowhere close to the same. But like a guy like Cashie's Howe just took him a little more than a year or so, and then some guys it just never happens. Another guy that's been really impressive in the MAC is Nadame Tucker at Western Michigan. He's been impressive all season with them. I think they were playing Wisconsin earlier, and he was a beast in that game, and now he's just tearing the MAC up.
Yeah, I like you said, we've talked about this in the past, and I think when players are jumping from like the MAC or now Conference USA, any of those Group of 6 or even lower, like, if you're jumping from the FCS, when you jump to the Big Ten, the SEC, some of the ACC and the Big 12, some of those schools, that's quite a jump for the player, right? I mean, you're kind of going, it's kind of like going from high school to college, right? In a way, because where maybe you are one of the better players on the field, you're jumping to a league where everybody is as good as you almost. So, yeah, I mean, I was, like I said, I'd written Cassius Howe off because I just didn't think it was going to happen. And then, like I said, I wrote the article and bam, there it was. He takes off. So I think you got to be patient with those players because it just doesn't happen, right away for probably 95% of them. They're going to have to wait and kind of work their way into it,
Yeah. Absolutely.
While you've got your sheet up there, anything that you guys over at the G5 want to promote that you got new going on?
Absolutely. I mean, all these things I've shown you, they're on our website. We launched our website, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. It's the website, the way it is currently built, hopefully we will grow it and it will have more than just college fantasy football. But the way it's built right now today is pretty much geared towards college fantasy football players. So we have a lot of tools for folks that play college fantasy football, offensive tools. But we also have a lot of defensive stuff for guys that play in IDP leagues. I showed you the linebackers. These are the edge rushers. Have the same thing for D tackles, safeties, cornerbacks. A lot of advanced metrics that you can look at and say, hey man, like this is a guy I need to look at. In addition to the metrics, we also have their recruiting class, 24/7 stars, their 247 rating, and you can filter by conference. You can filter between G5 and P4. A lot of stuff, like I said, a lot of cool stuff for folks that play IDP. A couple of things that we've added recently. This shows you, like, West Virginia gives up the most tackles to the defensive line in the FBS. 26 tackles a game to the D line. So, start your D lineman against West Virginia. Reverse of that is Maryland. They don't give up a lot of tackles to the D line, only 9 tackles a game. The most linebacker-friendly team to go against right now is Marshall, followed by Western Michigan and Rice. You see Army up there, Air Force. Those are the teams giving up the most tackles per game to linebackers. And then defensive backs, the most defensive back-friendly teams: Indiana, James Madison, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Arizona. It kind of tracks like with what you might think, right? Like teams that throw the ball a lot, etc., are going to be more friendly, whereas your triple option teams are going to be more friendly to defensive line. But just something to kind of help you decide when you're determining, hey, who do I want to start this week? I can go here and I can say, okay, well, my defensive lineman going against Indiana, probably don't want to start him. But if I have any DBs going against Indiana, I probably do want to fire them up. So, that's just one of the tools. We also have the same thing. That was tackles. We also have the same thing to show you defensive line. I'm sorry, defensive fantasy points allowed. So here we are looking at the same thing. And again, it kind of tracks, right? The most defensive line points per game is against West Virginia. Linebackers, the team that gives up the most points to linebackers is Rice. Like Marshall. So it kind of tracks with tackles, but tackles, are the most consistent stats. There are other stats in the fantasy calculation, but yeah, those are some of the tools we have, some of the data that we have to kind of help you when making lineup decisions about your defensive players. And probably the most powerful tool we have is our IDP waiver watch list. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select one of my leagues that has IDP. I'll pick our listener league. So it's this tool is calculating the points based on our league settings, and our league. So this shows me all these guys in green are on my team. It tells me the top available free agent is Corbin Hondrew, linebacker from Miami, Ohio, followed by Eli Blakey, Miami cornerback, Tyler Martin, etc. All these guys in black are free agents in our league. Wow. So it really helps you, and it's based on our league scoring settings. So it kind of helps you. And then you can sort these. You can sort by sacks, quarterback hurries, TFLs, total tackles, whatever you want. Like if you're not interested in fantasy, like the default is fantasy points, but you're interested in saying, I only want to get the guys with the most tackles. You sort by tackles, and it's going to show you who the top free agents are available in tackles. In this case, it's Tyler Martin. And then if I want to go set my lineup, these are season to date stats. I want to use this to kind of help me. Who are my teams performing really well? I just click this and turn my team on first.
Right.
and then it's going to load my roster first, and I can go through there and say, okay, well, these are my top 3 linebackers. These are the guys I want to start. So yeah, lots of, got Caleb Elamzor, Khalil Murdoch, Ray Coney, Lamprin. These are the guys I want to start. These are my top fantasy producers for my roster. So, it helps. It's a tremendous help for folks that play in IDP leagues. These are tools that I've built and I've been using for, I don't know, 5 years or so, 5-6 years. They've helped me in my IDP leagues, and now I'm offering them to the masses.
That's awesome, man. I love that. Yeah, I've seen you all advertise it. Man, gotta check this out.
Our buddy Sal, he's a subscriber, and it didn't take him long. He messaged me and said, "Dude, you are saving me hours, right? Because if you're not subscribed to our website, how are you doing this? You're going through and looking at box scores, right? Or looking at leaderboards and you're cross-referencing fan tracks, and that's a lot of time spent. The website does that all for you, right? At the click of a button. So it saves you a ton of time. But yeah, I mean, and if you're only playing in an offensive only leagues, we have more tools for offense than we do defense. Since we're a defensive podcast, I've been talking about the defensive stuff, but man, like we have this league dominator, and there's nothing like it, or nothing like it exists anywhere else. You can go here. We have links to all the availability reports, so you don't have to track down the availability reports. You can say, okay, I want to see, tonight, in the Memphis game. Let's see if they have that availability report up. I can click on there, come down here. Looks like they don't have it up. Let's see. It's not up yet, but it will be at 7 p.m. So I can come back here and check that Memphis Rice game. There's the availability report from last night's game, but it has all the has links to all those availability reports for every conference. You'll notice the Pac-12 is grayed out. Pac-12 doesn't have availability reports yet. Expect that they will next year when they're full-fledged, conference with 8 members. So we'll be ready to go for that. But that's just one of the things within this tool. Here's probably the coolest thing. I can go to our league, click optimize lineup. I go down here, and it tells me this is who I should start based on our league settings, our league scoring. These are the players I should start in my starting lineup this week on the offensive side. Tells you who they're playing, what their projected points are, and what their projected stats are. If I need to go pick people up, free agents, and come down here, and it shows me all these guys in blue are already on my team. But hey, if I need a quarterback this week, hey, pick up Skylar Locklear, 23 points projected for this week. You can filter it by position. If I want to see who maybe look at the running backs. Xavier Robinson, Oklahoma, free agent in our league, 13.8 points this week. So yeah, it's a pretty powerful tool. If you want to lock players into your lineup, you can come over here and lock them. If I was to lock Juice Farine as a tight end, then it's going to come down here and it's going to show him. It's going to be lock him in, even though he might not be projected in the highest points total. It'll lock him into that lineup. And additionally, you can exclude players. Like, for instance, let's say I know like Lucky Sutton's hurt. He's not going to play this week. I can hit exclude, and they won't include him in that lineup. So just powerful tools we have available that don't exist anywhere else for college fantasy football. We talked about I showed you earlier some of the stuff in terms of like offensive or defensive points allowed. we have the same stuff for offensive points allowed. So I go over here, tell me, hey man, maybe I shouldn't be starting my quarterback against Ohio State. They're only allowing 8.6 points per game. However, if I'm playing Marshall, they're giving up lots of points to quarterbacks. Let me start my Marshall QB. Saw that last night. Samari Collier, Coastal Carolina, 34 points against Marshall last night. So, yeah, I mean, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Again, same kind of concept. We're showing you who has the best matchups that week. We just launched this yesterday.
Man,
you want to know how Danny Scudero, what does he do against man? What does he do against zone defense? Man defense, he's producing 11.9 points per game. Zone defense, 11.4 points per game. You know, pretty even. You go down here and look at Nizay Cox. He's doing way better against man than he is zone.
Right.
The level of detail we have, crazy, man. We can go back here. We can look at the defense. How does the defense? So we can see who plays the highest zone man percentage this year. It's Colorado State. They're playing man 68.2% of the time. The highest zone team. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's playing zone 93% of the time. And then you can see how many fantasy points they're giving up in man versus zone. Yeah, man, this stuff doesn't exist anywhere else. It's like whether you're playing offensive only leagues, IDP leagues, these are the tools, these are the analytics that you can't get anywhere else. So yeah, we launched it a couple weeks ago. We have a special right now. If you go to our X profile, we have it pinned.
Man, that's awesome. I've not seen anything anywhere like that.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anywhere. But if you go to our X profile, we have a promo going on right now where you can lock in your year one price. So if you were to subscribe today, October 31st, 2026, your membership is good through October 31st of 2026. So you get it for one full year, but you'll get it for half price. The normal price for our website is $99.95. You'll get it for $49.99. This promo code is not going to last very long. We're gonna stop it probably sometime in January, if not before. So I would encourage folks to sign up now, get that year one half off. So yeah, but yeah, cool stuff, man. Like if you're into data, we got it. Whether it's offensive, defensive, team data, individual players, and then plus our tools. And we're not done yet, man. We are working on our next tools as we speak. So lots of good stuff to come. And like you said, doesn't exist anywhere else in the college fantasy community. So yeah, if you don't subscribe, you're missing out. You're at a distinct disadvantage in your leagues for sure.
That is awesome, dude. I have not seen anything like that anywhere. I mean, those are tools that are invaluable whether you play IDP or not. You know, even if you're just offensive only, those are some invaluable tools that you can't find anywhere else. And y'all are giving a promo code out to get it for half price right now. I mean, you're right. You have to jump all over that. That's amazing stuff, man. I didn't when I seen you, but sitting here watching you kind of just go through it and kind of do a little pre-tour, you know, that's freaking amazing, man.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have historical coverage stuff. I mean, we go back to 2016. You can see what percent of zone, man percentage, zone percentage, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, cover 6, cover 0 from 20. Now, this is full season data. So right now it's 2016 through 2024. At the end of the year, we'll update the data for 2025. Right. But yeah, I mean, you can see what percentage a team is playing. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, man.
Well, that's awesome, man. Heck
yeah. What's even
guys,
cooler
if
is
you're into fantasy football, you need to go check this out.
If you can we have it linked with the coaches too. So if you want to look up, a particular defensive coordinator, any school he was a defensive coordinator at since 2016 is going to show up. I don't know, like, okay, let's pick Alex Grinch. Boom, there you go. Shows you what he did at Oklahoma, Washington State, USC, and Oklahoma. What his defenses look like in terms of coverage. How much man zone did they play, or how much cover 3? It's you can do the same thing with a head coach. You can pick a head coach too. You can filter on that guy, and get a good idea for what to expect from his defense.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, y'all should stuff that you're going to be putting out there that nobody else has. I mean, when I'm looking for content myself, that's what I look for. I'm like, what can you give me that I can't just go wherever and find, right? And this is nice, man. Y'all did a great job on this.
It integrates to all your to Fantrax leagues. You import your leagues from Fantrax, and boom, you can edit scoring settings, you can resync the league, etc. So, yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
We added this yesterday too. It shows how many points they're giving up to a slot receiver versus
leagues,
an outside receiver.
How are you doing in yours? I mean, the two that, well, I'm in a third one, but it's offensive only and it's best ball. But in our listener league and another one that I have, one of them I'm kind of mid-pack. The other one, it's not been a very good year. My offense has let me down a lot. So, but how about you with your leagues?
In our listener league, I'm doing really good. I'm in first place, I think, both NFL and college side. So let's see if I can't do the double dip again. Get 2 more of these bad boys. I'm doing pretty good in all my leagues. There's one league where I'm just doing absolutely terrible. It's an auction league, and I know Hollywood knows this about me, and probably most people do, but I absolutely loathe auction leagues because I just think it rewards people for not doing work. Like they see, oh, Justice nominates so-and-so, he must be a good player. Let me jump all over him. And so I just choose not to participate in the auctions because it's just too frustrating for me. So I just won't participate. And then of course, like my team's going to suffer from that. And I get it. It is what it is. But like, it's just such a negative experience for me to participate in an auction league that I just don't do it. And so my team suffers, and that team is not doing good. I'm in last place or next to last place, but whatever it is, what it is. I am contending. I'm one of the top. It's a 2014 league. I'm one of the top 2 teams on the NFL, so maybe I can win the NFL side this year. We'll see.
Hell yeah, yeah. I get you on the auction leagues. That is so freaking tough because I experienced the same thing, right? Because people will use my IDP rankings and they're like, well, Hollywood's got, he's got this guy ranked here. I'm going to wait and see if he bids on him, and if he does, then and the price just goes through the roof. It really, I have one auction league. I think it's Chops League is the one I'm in is auction league, and it really forces me to kind of do a really deep dive on some of the, I don't know, maybe say outside the top 200. I have to look like 200 and below on my rankings, or even further. I have to do a really deep dive to try to find, some hidden gems that nobody else is really tuned into. And even then, when I find something, it's like you said, well, Justice bid on him or Hollywood nominated him. He's got to be good, so let's go. Yep. And it's insane. I mean, there's been countless times, and I've told the story a million times, but if you're new, I first got into Devy part, this was back in 3-4 years ago when Chop started I forget the name of the one league, but it's when Corey Foreman come out of Highland, right? He was the #1 overall talent, and I was like,
yeah,
I don't know how much to bid on players. It was new to me, so I used him as a test. And, of course, I really wanted him, so I thought he was going to be the next big thing. Clearly, I was wrong on that, but I used it as a test to see how other managers were going to bid against me or bid, basic. And I had to pay $275 for Corey Foreman, which said he turned out to be a bust, and that's a waste. But to your point, every time I bid on somebody, I can say, oh, on player A, and I'm going to set my cap at $100. Well, I can kiss that goodbye, because usually if I say 100, he's going to go for 200. If I say 50, right, he's going to go hard to try to get the big guys,
Yeah, it's just a frustrating process, and then you have people that wait till the last minute.
So we've got 2 weeks left in the fantasy season.
In the regular season, at least in our league. Yeah, and then playoff. I had one league. The playoffs started this week.
It's coming to a close pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, even on the NFL side, you're already halfway through your fantasy season. 7, 8. Well, you're past halfway. This is week 9, so most leagues are 14, 15 games, depending. So you're already halfway to the playoffs in your fantasy season. So you don't have much time to get your rosters in order there either. But anything else you want to talk about? Players you want to discuss?
No, not really, man. The NFL is kind of like, from a fantasy perspective, like, seems like less. Like, it seems like always every year there's some guys that kind of come out of nowhere, but I can't really think of many this year, from an IDP standpoint, anyway.
Yeah, it's it has, now that you mention it, it has been pretty status quo. I mean, there's, of course, the rookies are always fluctuating up and down, right, but like your veterans and stuff, there's nobody that's really, just like you said, just come out of nowhere and made a big impact.
No, I mean, I just think about like a few years ago, like Andrew Van Ginkel or Jonathan Greenard or Carl Granderson, right, where those guys kind of came out of nowhere, and to the average fan, and they're like superstars. Like we just haven't seen any of. I don't feel like we've really seen any of that on the defensive side, anyway.
No, me neither. No one's, like you said, no one's really just burst onto the scene other than some rookies,
Yeah.
Now I've seen some players that are trending the other way, like Logan Wilson. He's basically fell off the freaking map,
Well, he's lost his
Um,
job to Barrett Carter, but my guess is he'll sign somewhere else and have a resurgence next year.
Yeah, I mean, he's asked for a trade, and Cincinnati's clearly going with the two young guys, right? Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight, and they've played well. Both of them are just playing lights out. So you got two players that are just balling out on rookie deals, and then you've got your veteran leader who's been there his whole career, who's going to cost you a lot more when it comes time to pay. I'll be shocked if he's not traded by the deadline. I really will. I think somebody will. They have to move him because he's asked for a trade. I mean, they don't have to, but he's only getting like maybe 30% of the defensive snaps, and as a starter for fantasy, that ain't going to cut it,
Right.
I think Abdul Carter a bust so far as well. I know he's getting the pressures. He's getting a solid amount of time, but the sacks and stuff, they're not there, man. Everybody wants him to be the next Micah Parsons, right? Same thing with Chopper Robinson. They wanted him to be the next Micah Parsons just because he played at Penn State and was that's making the switch to an edge rusher, which I think is lazy comps, and I think you're seeing that. Micah Parsons was special. Not everybody can do that. And
yeah. Don't tell Jerry Jones that. He gave him away for free.
Yeah. That has to be the biggest bonehead move I've seen in a long time.
I
fell out of my chair when I saw that.
As a Cowboys fan, I'm still pissed off about it, and makes me even less of a Cowboys fan.
I'm sure.
I heard on the radio the other day that they might be trading for Max Crosby. I'm like, you freaking idiots! You had Micah Parsons, and now you're gonna watch if they trade for Max Crosby. Watch how much they give up. I guarantee you, it's more than they got from Micah Parsons.
No, I promise you it will be, because the Raiders ain't gonna give him up for free. That's their best defensive player. There's no way they're giving him up for free.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Fire.
But anyway. Yeah. If you've got any questions, you got any trades, you got any draft thoughts, anything, send them to me and Justice. We're always glad. If you got a player you want us to evaluate, high school, whatever, let us know. We're more than happy to do that. Go over and check out the G5 Hive podcast, and then go over, subscribe to this new website these guys have got. Justice, that's just fucking amazing, man. That's sitting there watching you go through that just blew my mind. I know that is a lot of hard work, and it's really well done. So kudos to you. If you're listening, go sign up for that. Follow them at the G5 Hive. You can check out my stuff on a Patreon. I got a lot of free stuff I've got from high school to the NFL. So I've got IDP Devy rankings over there you can check out. You can join our Discord. You follow us at Devy IDP Grind. You can follow me at Hollywood Titan. You can follow Justice at Justice_2318. Yeah, man. Y'all knocked it out of the park with that website. Hope it takes off for you. And I'll definitely be pushing it on all the channels. Try to help y'all get some subscribers in. We'll be back next week. Let us know how you're And we'll be back next week.